Hello and welcome everyone to today's StableNet Snapshot series webinar. My name is Siggy Miller from the development department at InfoSim, and I'm going to be presenting to you the analyzer category and the group analyzer today. All right, let's start into it. Let's say, for example, you are in the alarm and events view. You look at all the alarms and events which are popping up, and you see for example, critical major alarm in the alarms table, which you want to have a better look into it. So what we're going to do, of course, we want to analyze it. And that is where the analysis in general comes into play. All right. How do we get into the analyzer? Of course, we can do a right click on the alarm we want to analyze, go to analyzers and show analyzer, jump to analyzer, or jump to the group analyzer. An alternative way to do is basically use the navigation on the left side to jump into the analyzer. For presentation purposes, I'm going to switch to a different StableNet server here. So I'm in the alarm and events, and I will jump into the analyzer. Here we have the default measurement tree, default selected, and a graph is already default selected and plotted. So let's say, for example, let's delete this one. Let's say, for example, we want to have a look into this device, the new device, Matthias. We select it. We can either double click it to generate a graph, or we can select it and click the button at the bottom, create new chart. Either way is possible, so it's up to you. This way we get a bar chart by default generated. The chart type of this device is ping chart. On the left side in measurement settings, we can change the chart type to everything we want, or even delete this chart. So, all right, now we have the bar plotted. We want to have a deeper look into it. We can zoom right into the bar or into the chart by clicking Control and mouse wheel down or up. This way we can zoom in and out, or even drag and drop the bar in the chart to the left and right, wherever we want. This way we have a kind of free zooming with the mouse wheel. Alternatively, we can, like in the rich client, we can drag from top left to bottom right and zoom in, and from bottom right to top left to zoom out. Personally, I prefer the mouse wheel zooming, but that's just personal preference. All right. Now we have the new device Matthias plotted. Why don't we look into more detailed measurements? Let's change the chart type to a measurement data. As you can see, the chart is being updated automatically according to the chart type we select. And here you can see all the measurement data from the time interval which is selected. The default time interval is 7 full, no, the default, excuse me, is 1040 full minutes, which is basically 24 hours, so 1 day. So let's maybe change this chart to 7 days as we saw right now. And as you can see, all the data is being updated automatically from 1 day now to 7 full days. Let's change back. Let's get back to the, where is it? To the ping chart. Here is it. All right, now we have the ping chart. The next step would be to maybe to compare different devices. Let's say we want to compare this device, the new device Matthias, to another device, for example, this next device. As I showed you previously, we can either double click it, create a new chart, but no second chart is being displayed at the moment. This is why we need to select the device and add it to the chart. When we look into the measurement settings right now, both devices are being displayed right now in the measurements and also in the chart. All right, let's say, for example, we want to compare the availability of these two devices. We simply change the chart type to availability chart on both devices. And now we have both devices in the time interval 7 full day. We can see the availability in a normal chart mode. This is where chart modes can be selected. We can change this to a stacked chart mode. We can an average chart, a summary chart. But let's, for example, change this to the stacked chart at the moment. Via the time range, we can specify a time range, custom time range. We can select last 1 hour or any specified time range here on the right side, or select a custom time range, whatever time range we want. We can apply it, and then the graph gets automatically updated. Let's switch back to the 7 full days time interval. All right, now we can see a stacked comparison between these two devices, the availability between these two devices. If we hover over, for example, this spike drop, we can see that what the availability for each device was. So everywhere we can kind of hover and see what the availability of these devices was. Just the legend. We can hide and show specific graphs by simply hovering above the corresponding device in the legend or clicking it. When we click it, it stays like this. If you click both, of course, both measurements are being displayed. When we deselect both measurements are being displayed automatically. All right. Let's say we want to add SLA markers, for example. SLA markers, here at the right bottom, we can simply click the plus icon on the right corner here. We can add a SLA marker. Let's say we want to add a red SLA marker for displaying that everything is not okay. So we give it a start value, give it a stop value. So let's say, for example, we want to display that everything under, let's say, 180 or 170 is not okay. So we give it a 170, maybe change the opacity to 0.2 and give it a label of not okay. We close it, and now we see the SLA marker not okay at 170. Let's add a second SLA marker, maybe with the color green. Change the opacity again to 0.0 and 2, and give it a start value of, let's say, 170 to 200. And now we have a second SLA marker from 170 to 200. We can edit these, we can hide them, or either delete them at all. All right. Let's say we want to create a chart for reporting or sharing with colleagues. Maybe this title, we want to override this title and give it a proper name. We can override these options. As you can see, this is already what I personally put in. But if you delete it, it's been deleted right now. So this is the default value. If we override it right now with, as I had it, availability, the graph gets automatically updated with the overridden title. So, and also this chart info text at the bottom, reporting powered by infosim.net. We can override it by going to the default properties and searching for chart info text. Here, the default value is reporting powered by infosim.net. We can change it to reported by me, so Siggy Miller. I save it, go back to the analyzer, and now you can see the reporting powered by Sigi Miller is being automatically updated. All right. Maybe we want to change some other options. We can do this by clicking the chart options button, which displays a lot of toggles which we can toggle on and off. We can hide maybe the legend, we can show and hide the title, show the helper lines. These are the small dotted lines. I don't know if you can see it accordingly. We can show the axis lines, multi-axis support in one chart for each timeline. What is the multi-axis support? I will show it real quick. If I go back to the measurement settings and select a different chart type, we can see we have on the left side the percentage values, and on the right side the ping chart millisecond values. If I change the mode, I can multi-axis support. I can hide the second axis on the right side. So we will change it back to the availability chart. All right. The last step would be to kind of share this created graph or bar with colleagues. So what we can do, we can take a screenshot of this whole graph. We click it, and now we can download this image, or we can create a link. We can open this as a plot servlet. We can specify a width and a height and then generate the link, which will open a link in a new window. And this link is a shareable link. The link, if you look closely at the link, the link includes a token, and this token is important for sharing because everyone who has this link and has, of course, the accessibility to this IP address can access this link without logging in with credentials. So this is a dynamically created image of the bar. All right. So if we maybe accidentally deleted all of our measurements here on the left side, we can simply go back to the History tab and select whichever measurement we had last. For example, I just deleted this one. I can select it, and now it's restored, and we can continue working on it. All right. I think it's going to be it for the analyzer. Let's jump to the group analyzer. What is the group analyzer? The group analyzer gives, in general, an overview of all different measurements in my system according to some different criteria. So for example, if I jump into the group analyzer and I want to display for all my measurements the interfaces that have the largest bandwidth. So here I change the statistic type to, let's say, interface with the largest bandwidth, with the max bandwidth. So what this does is it displays top N, the largest 10 interfaces in my default measurement tree here with the highest bandwidth. As you can see, only 10 are being shown. If I change this maybe to the table, I can see a little bit more data. All right, let's look at a few more examples. For example, let's say we want to look at processors with, let's say, the max CPU load. We can plot this, and now the processors all with the highest CPU load are being displayed. Or maybe change this to ping, as we had it in the example before. We have a ping average, and as we can see, the ROGAT has 9.3 milliseconds, which is the highest ping available. We can also change this to maybe 0. If we change this to 0, we get displayed all entries, but the list can get quite long. So I prefer to leave it at top and the highest 10. Of course, as before, we can change the time interval maybe from this 1 day default to 7 full days. Plot this again, and now, as you can see, it updated. Of course, a time range can also be specified. So if we, for example, click on a chart right now, a analyzer dialog is being opened. And in this analyzer dialog, the selected measurement is being displayed like in the analyzer. We can change a chart type. We can decharge mode. We can specify a time range explicitly. We can modify it. We can override the seconds as the settings as before, and of course the chart seconds. What we also can do is by clicking this button here, we can open this measurement in a new window, which opens the analyzer and automatically selects our previously here selected measurement and provides, of course, more detail. And of course, all these zooming capabilities are provided. All right. And as before, SLA markers can also be added. We can work with different filters. For example, we can work with element filters. Let's pick one. Let's say, for example, we want to only show the new device materials. We can set this filter, apply, plot, and the filter is automatically being applied. Let's delete this filter again and change it to the accept all filter, apply it, and now all filters are being applied again. Let's go back to the options. We have text options. As before, we can change the bar settings. For example, the title here, specifically, we can change the subtitle, the legend, etc. And also we have a value filter. So for example, if we want to only show these devices which have a, let's say, max ping of 6, so basically which are below 6, we click apply, and now all the measurements with a ping below 6 are being displayed. We change this filter again, and now we're getting all again. All right, let's continue with the category analyzer. What is the category analyzer? It gives us a possibility to basically get an overview of all our different status information in our network based on tags. So if I jump in the category analyzer right now, the category type is being selected by default. So if I plot everything, we can get all the we get all the status information by, for example, availability, reachability rate, etc. So let's, for example, change here the category type to something different. Let's say we do device name. Of course, we get a lot of devices here, 133 pages. We can change the page size to something more to display more on our page, but it can get a little bit cramped there. So we will change it back to, let's say, 15 as it is. We can, let's maybe change it to something different, like the device vendor. It's a little bit more convenient there. We have the device vendor now, the different device vendors. Now we have Microsoft, Linux, Cisco, Synology, VMware, Juniper. And with this, we can maybe change the bar type to, let's say, we change it to a spider bar or a relative bar, which adds up to 100, of course. But maybe let's change it back to the bar. Okay. Now we have the bar plotted. We can also filter the monitor severity here. Let's say, for example, we take only the majors, and we get the vendor displayed with which have the major severities. So, but for now, let's change it back to all. If we, for example, click on the Microsoft bar, we get a drill down with more detailed insight about the states here in the Microsoft tab. A filter is being automatically added. Here, a device vendor equals Microsoft filter. We cancel this, and we can delete this filter by either clicking reset or clear the drill down completely, which gets us back to the overview right now. All right. And as in the different analyzers before, and the analyzer and the group analyzer, we can, of course, share share this graph by either taking a screenshot or opening this whole bar as a plot servlet and, for example, sharing it with your coworkers for reporting purposes. All right, I think that's going to be it for this tutorial today. You have given a short overview over the analyzer, giving you some more detailed insight for the specific measurements and the possibilities there and the functionalities. We saw the group analyzer and, of course, the category analyzer.